I am Dr. Leana. Welcome to our channel. Your arteries are not dirty pipes, and no magic drink can wash plaque away overnight. But wait for it, because 5 ordinary foods can change the chemistry that allows plaque to grow. Today you will learn the artery myth most people believe, the 5 foods that target cholesterol, inflammation, blood sugar, and blood pressure, plus the 3 mistakes that silently undo progress after 50. The final food may surprise you most deeply. Your arteries are not clogged because you forgot to drink lemon water. They are not damaged because you missed one superfood. And they do not become clean because someone on the internet told you to take a spoonful of something before bed. The truth is far more serious. But it is also far more hopeful. Over the years, especially after 50, your arteries face a slow chemical storm. LDL cholesterol stays too high. Blood pressure pushes too hard. Blood sugar rises too often. Inflammation keeps whispering danger. Oxidative stress damages the delicate lining inside your blood vessels. And here's the shocking part. You may not feel any of it happening. A person can walk around feeling normal while the artery wall is quietly changing. The body is adapting. The heart is compensating. The blood is still flowing, so nothing feels urgent. Until one day the warning sign arrives. Maybe it is chest pressure while climbing stairs. Maybe it is unusual fatigue. Maybe it is shortness of breath after a walk that used to feel easy. Or maybe the first sign is much more dangerous. That is why we need to talk about this before the body is forced to scream. When people hear the phrase clean your arteries, they often imagine plaque sitting inside the artery like grease inside a kitchen pipe. So they search for a drink, a tea, a herb, or a cleanse that will flush it out. But wait for it. Arteries are not pipes. Arteries are living tissue. Plaque does not simply sit on the surface waiting to be washed away. It forms inside the artery wall. LDL cholesterol, often called bad cholesterol, can slip into tiny injured areas in the artery lining. The immune system sees that cholesterol as a problem and sends white blood cells to respond. That response creates inflammation. Now, inflammation is not always bad. If you cut your finger, inflammation helps protect you and begin repair. That is acute inflammation, and it is part of healing. The danger is chronic low-grade inflammation. That is the immune alarm that never fully shuts off. Over time, cholesterol, immune cells, calcium, and scar-like tissue can collect inside the artery wall. The artery can become stiffer. The opening can become narrower. And in the worst cases, a plaque can rupture, causing a clot that may block blood flow to the heart or brain. This is the part many people miss. Food does not work by scraping plaque like a brush. Food works by changing the environment that allowed plaque to grow. That means lowering LDL pressure, reducing blood sugar spikes, supporting healthier blood pressure, calming chronic inflammation, improving the health of the endothelium, which is the inner lining of your blood vessels. Think of the endothelium as the smooth protective skin inside your arteries. When it is healthy, blood flows more easily. Arteries relax better. Inflammation stays more controlled. When it is damaged, the artery becomes stickier, tighter, and more vulnerable. So before I give you the 5 foods, remember this sentence. Your arteries are listening to every meal. They are listening when breakfast sends your blood sugar soaring. They are listening when dinner is heavy with saturated fat and low in fiber. They are listening when your body is repeatedly exposed to the same damaging signals year after year. But they are also listening when you make the right swaps. And the first swap begins with a food many people underestimate: oats. Yes, oats may look simple. They may even look boring. But inside the body, oats behave like a cholesterol sponge. The secret is a special soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Soluble fiber means it dissolves in water and forms a thick gel in the digestive tract. That gel can bind with bile acids, which your liver makes from cholesterol to help digest fat. Here is where it gets interesting. When fiber carries some bile acids out of the body, the liver needs to make more. To do that, it can pull more cholesterol from the bloodstream. Over time, that may help lower LDL cholesterol. And LDL matters because LDL particles are one of the main ingredients involved in artery plaque. Imagine LDL as delivery trucks carrying cholesterol through your blood. You need some cholesterol. Your body uses it for hormones, cell membranes, and normal function. But when too many trucks stay on the road for too long, more of them can crash into the artery wall. Oats help reduce that traffic. But here is mistake number 1. Many people turn oats into dessert. They buy sugary instant oatmeal packets. They add syrup. They add flavored creamers. They add sweet toppings until the meal that was supposed to support the arteries becomes a blood sugar roller coaster. And after 50, blood sugar roller coasters matter. High blood sugar can damage the artery lining. It can increase oxidative stress, which is like biological rust. It can make blood vessels less flexible and more irritated. So the way you prepare oats decides whether they help or hurt. Use plain oats, steel-cut oats, or old-fashioned oats. Start with about half a cup dry. Add cinnamon, berries, ground flaxseed, or a small amount of chopped walnuts. Keep the sweetness controlled. And here is a small secret. Add protein beside it. A boiled egg, plain Greek yogurt, or unsweetened protein source can make the meal more stable. You are not just eating for cholesterol. You are eating for blood sugar, appetite, muscle, and energy. Remember when I said your arteries are listening to every meal? This is what I meant. A simple bowl of oats can tell your arteries, less cholesterol traffic, less sugar chaos, less inflammation pressure. Not dramatic, not flashy, but powerful when repeated. Now, the second food works in a completely different way. Beans and lentils. And this is where the story moves from your blood to your gut. Most people do not connect gut health with artery health. They think the gut is only about digestion, bloating, constipation, stomach comfort. But the gut is also an immune control center. Beans, lentils, chickpeas, and split peas contain soluble fiber and resistant starch. Resistant starch is a type of carbohydrate that resists digestion in the small intestine. Instead of quickly turning into sugar, it travels deeper and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. And you won't believe what happens next. When good bacteria feed on fiber, they produce short-chain fatty acids. These are tiny chemical messengers that may help support healthier inflammation, metabolism, and cholesterol control. So beans do not only fill your stomach. They speak to your immune system. They help slow digestion. They help steady blood sugar. They help lower LDL. They can replace processed meats. And because they are filling, they may help reduce excess snacking, especially late in the day. That matters because belly fat is not just stored calories. Deep belly fat, called visceral fat, acts almost like an inflammatory organ. It sends out signals that can worsen insulin resistance, raise inflammation, and increase cardiovascular strain. So, when a bowl of lentil soup helps reduce hunger, stabilize blood sugar, feed gut bacteria, and lower cholesterol pressure, that is not a small win. That is artery support from several directions at once. But here is mistake number 2. People add beans but keep everything else the same. They eat beans beside processed meat, refined bread, sugary drinks, and salty packaged foods, then wonder why nothing changes. Beans work best when they replace something that was causing damage. Try black beans instead of sausage, lentils instead of processed lunch meat, chickpeas in a salad instead of croutons and creamy dressing. Start with half a cup a few times per week. If your digestion is sensitive, go slowly. Gas and bloating often happen when the gut bacteria are adjusting. Rinse canned beans to reduce sodium. Drink enough water. And if you have kidney disease or have been told to limit potassium or phosphorus, check with your clinician before making beans a daily staple. Now pause and ask yourself this. How often do you eat beans or lentils in a normal week? If the answer is almost never, this may be one of the easiest upgrades you can make. Not glamorous, not expensive, but deeply intelligent for the body after 50. Now we move to the third food, nuts. And this is where many people make a major mistake because they hear the word fat and immediately get nervous. But the truth is, your arteries do not respond to every fat the same way. The fat in walnuts or almonds is not the same as the fat pattern in processed meats, pastries, fried snacks, or butter-heavy meals. Nuts contain mostly unsaturated fats, along with fiber, magnesium, plant sterols, and polyphenols. Plant sterols can compete with cholesterol absorption in the gut. Polyphenols help protect cells from oxidative stress. Magnesium supports healthy blood pressure and normal muscle and nerve function. This is not just a snack. It is a small package of artery-supporting chemistry. But here's the cliffhanger. Nuts can help you, or they can quietly sabotage you. The difference is portion size. The helpful amount is about one small handful, around 1 ounce. That might be roughly 20 to 25 almonds or a small handful of walnuts. Not a cereal bowl. Not a large bag in front of the television. Not honey-roasted nuts covered in sugar. When eaten correctly, nuts can replace foods that push the body in the wrong direction. Instead of cookies in the afternoon, choose nuts and a piece of fruit. Instead of chips, choose walnuts or almonds. Instead of crackers that disappear in minutes, choose something that gives fat, fiber, and minerals. And here is why this matters after 50. Many adults are fighting 2 silent battles at the same time. Cholesterol is rising. Muscle is declining? This is a dangerous combination because muscle helps manage blood sugar. Muscle acts like a storage place for glucose after meals. When muscle mass falls, blood sugar control can become harder, insulin resistance can worsen, and the arteries may face more metabolic stress. Nuts do not build muscle by themselves, but they can help move your diet away from empty calories and toward nutrient-dense foods that support a healthier metabolic pattern. And remember when I mentioned the endothelium, that smooth inner lining of your arteries? Nuts may help support that lining by bringing healthier fats, minerals, and antioxidant plant compounds into the diet. A healthier lining means arteries can relax better and respond more normally. But do not miss this. If your nuts are heavily salted, you may be helping one problem while worsening another. Too much sodium can raise blood pressure in many people. And high blood pressure is like a constant pounding against the artery wall. Over time, that pressure can create tiny injuries that make plaque more likely to form. So choose unsalted or lightly salted nuts. Small handful. Slow chewing. Real food. That is the formula. Now we have lowered cholesterol pressure with oats. We have connected the gut to the arteries with beans. We have used nuts to support the artery lining. But cholesterol is only part of the story. Now we need to talk about blood fats, inflammation, and cell membranes. The fourth food is fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, trout, herring, and mackerel contain omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA. These fats are built into cell membranes, including the membranes of immune cells and blood vessel cells. That means they can influence how cells communicate. This is one of those hidden mechanisms most people never learn. Your cells are not hard little rocks floating in the body. They are surrounded by flexible membranes. Those membranes help decide what enters, what leaves, and how signals are received. When your diet is dominated by processed fats and refined foods, the signaling environment can become more inflammatory. When omega-3 rich foods are part of the pattern, inflammatory signaling may become more balanced. Again, we are not trying to shut inflammation off completely. You need inflammation to heal. We are trying to stop the background fire that slowly damages arteries. Fatty fish is also linked with healthier triglyceride levels. Triglycerides are another type of fat in the blood. When they are high, especially along with belly fat, low HDL, and high blood sugar, it often points to metabolic trouble. And metabolic trouble is like a traffic jam inside the body. Sugar, insulin, liver fat, blood pressure, inflammation, and cholesterol all collide. Nothing moves smoothly. The system becomes overloaded. Fatty fish helps by bringing high-quality protein, omega-3 fats, and a better replacement for processed meats. But here's mistake number 3. People hear fish is healthy, then eat it fried. Deep-fried fish with fries, white bread, and sugary sauce is not the same as baked salmon, grilled trout, or sardines with lemon and olive oil. Preparation changes the message your meal sends to your arteries. A good target for many adults is fatty fish about twice per week. Choose lower mercury options such as salmon, sardines, trout, anchovies, and herring when possible. And be careful with the supplement trap. Fish oil capsules are not automatically better than food. Some people with very high triglycerides may need prescription therapy, but that is a medical decision. For general support, food first is usually the smarter foundation. If you take blood thinners, have a fish allergy, are immunocompromised, or have a medical condition that affects your diet, ask your clinician what is safe for you. Now wait for it, because the fifth food is the one that ties everything together. It is extra virgin olive oil. But not for the reason most people think. One spoonful of olive oil does not magically clean your arteries. It does not erase years of high LDL. It does not cancel a diet full of pastries, fried foods, processed meats, and sugar. The power of extra virgin olive oil is that it changes the fat environment of your meals. Most people do not damage their arteries with one bad choice. They damage them with repeated patterns. Butter at breakfast, processed meat at lunch, creamy dressing at dinner, chips at night, low fiber, low plants, high sodium, high sugar. Extra virgin olive oil becomes powerful when it replaces some of those artery-stressing foods. It contains monounsaturated fat, especially oleic acid and protective polyphenols. Because it is less refined than many oils, extra virgin olive oil keeps more of those plant compounds. But here's the real secret. Olive oil works best as part of a Mediterranean-style pattern. Olive oil with vegetables, olive oil with beans, olive oil with fish, olive oil with whole grains, olive oil with herbs, garlic, tomatoes, greens, and nuts. This is not about adding oil to a poor diet. This is about using olive oil to help build a better diet. And this is the mini climax of the whole message. Your arteries do not need a cleanse. They need a new environment. Less saturated fat pressure, more fiber, more antioxidants, better blood sugar control, healthier blood pressure, more plant compounds, better meal satisfaction. Use 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil a day as a replacement, not just an addition. Use it in salad dressing with lemon or vinegar. Drizzle it over vegetables. Add it to beans. Use it instead of butter on roasted foods. But be honest with yourself. If olive oil is added on top of huge portions, sugar, refined bread, and fried foods, the benefit becomes diluted. Calories still matter. Patterns still matter. Replacements matter most. Now let's connect the entire chain. Oats help reduce LDL traffic. Beans and lentils feed the gut and steady blood sugar. Nuts support the artery lining with healthy fats and minerals. Fatty fish helps with triglycerides, cell membranes, and inflammatory balance. Extra virgin olive oil helps shift the whole diet toward an artery-friendly pattern. 5 foods, 3 mistakes, 1 truth. Your arteries are listening to every meal. They are listening when blood sugar spikes. They are listening when LDL stays high for years. They are listening when blood pressure pounds against the artery wall. They are listening when chronic inflammation keeps the immune alarm ringing. But they are also listening when you choose repair. And after 50, this matters even more because arteries naturally become less flexible with age. Blood pressure often rises. Insulin resistance becomes more common. Recovery slows. Muscle mass declines. The body can still improve, but it needs more consistent support. So here is your simple challenge. Do not try to change everything tomorrow. Choose 2 upgrades this week. Eat oats 3 mornings. Add beans or lentils to 2 meals. Replace chips with a small handful of nuts. Eat fatty fish twice. Swap butter or creamy dressing for extra virgin olive oil. And please hear this clearly. If you already have heart disease, chest pain, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, kidney disease, liver disease, or a history of stroke, food is support, not a replacement for medical care. Keep taking prescribed medication unless your clinician tells you otherwise. Natural does not mean ignore your doctor. Natural means support your body intelligently. Because arteries are not damaged in one day, and they are not protected in one day. They respond to patterns, and the next meal is already your chance to change the pattern. I'm Dr. Leana. Tell me in the comments which of these 5 foods you already eat, and which one you will add this week. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone over 50 who needs to protect their heart before the warning signs appear.